We have all asked the same question at some point in our life. What does the furnace minecart even do? And is it useful? So that's something I hope to answer in today's video. So let's get started. The furnace minecart, or actually minecart with furnace, is one of the many different variants of minecarts in Minecraft, along with the regular minecart, minecart with chest, the minecart with hopper, the minecart with TNT, the minecart with a command block, and minecart with monster spawner, I guess, and it is one of the several minecart variants that don't get very much attention today. So what does this thing even do? You can't use it as a normal furnace. It doesn't even have a menu. At first glance, it seems completely useless. If you have messed around with the minecart furnace before, or if you've seen it in videos online, you probably have learned that if you put coal inside of it, it will move along tracks without the use of powered rails. Except very, very slowly. So slow, in fact, that even walking speed can actually catch up to it, and sprinting speed leaves it in the absolute dust. You might have seen this mechanic in YouTube videos before, showing it pushing minecarts or even dragging minecarts behind it, but everyone always complains about it needing too much coal or being far too slow to be useful. While this is true in some cases, it actually has a few more things it can do that might make it worth crafting. A certain yellow and pink YouTuber said that you have to
constantly fill it with coal just for it to be way slower than normal powered rails.
But from my experience and recent research, it doesn't seem to be the case at all. In fact, a single piece of coal seems to make the furnace minecart move forever without stopping. I don't know if this was changed in recent versions or if Camman's data is outdated, but for everything that I've done and every test that I have performed, it doesn't stop. A single piece of coal will make the furnace minecart run indefinitely. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but for the life of me, I cannot replicate this behavior. Please let me know if this is a version thing or something is outdated that I'm unaware of. This is the most common complaint by far, since when powered, the furnace minecart does move quite slowly, slower than even walking speed. And due to this, most of the time, people overlook the true use of the furnace minecart. Placing the furnace minecart behind a different minecart and then powering it will launch the second minecart forward with some velocity. It will maintain this velocity until it slowly begins to gain friction and start to slow down. But instead of a single minecart, if you put 3 or 4 minecarts in a row, the furnace minecart will compress them all together and push them all in a chain. This chain will maintain its velocity at powered rail speeds for hundreds, if not thousands of blocks. No power needed, no gold needed, no redstone needed. This will keep going for as long as you'd like. I'm actually not too sure how long one of these chains can last for. On my other world, I have a chain like this that has gone for 10,000 blocks. It doesn't seem to slow down. The more minecarts, the longer it goes. And if you go beyond 4 or maybe even 5, it'll go for longer than you would ever need it to. This force that the furnace minecart applies to minecarts in front of it is actually so strong that it can propel minecarts uphill and even through turns without a single powered rail at all. See, this chest minecart can make it all the way up this hill from just a single furnace minecart. All of the previously mentioned mechanics of the furnace minecart have some pretty useful and practical applications. For example, transporting mobs such as villagers, piglins, or even elder guardians long distances can be challenging, especially for early game since powered rails are pretty expensive. So, a single furnace minecart can move these mobs pretty much any distance you'd like at the fastest speed possible without a single piece of redstone. In regard to the previously mentioned minecart chains, these chains can be rather challenging to work on turning or inclined rails. For example, using the previous rail that goes up the hill that we saw earlier, using a minecart chain here can cause some unexpected issues. But at the end of the day, all of the minecarts will eventually make it all the way to the top, as long as the furnace minecart keeps going. So, while chaining minecarts together sounds like a really fun idea and can genuinely be used to travel very, very long distances, it might not be as useful for transporting things up slopes or maybe around turns because it can be a little finicky and a little unreliable. So, yeah. The furnace minecart doesn't really deserve the hate that it gets. It's very useful, it's very cheap, and it can aid in one of the most annoying aspects of the game. Next time you find yourself short on powered rails or having some trouble transporting mobs, give the furnace minecart a shot. You never know how well things could go.